Hello and welcome back again to the garage. We're gonna glue the body up now. Got some clamps, got it prepared here, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so I think the plan is just to spread the glue here, flatten it out, put it down, and I got these clamps, got 3 going across, should be enough, and then some clamps to go on the ends to make sure they stay level. So let's try that. Almost forgot to hit record. Let's see. Let's get some good glue. I'll just do a little bit on this side. Probably don't need any on both sides, but I'm just gonna use my finger. Spread around. Yeah, that's a good amount actually. I'm not too worried about this other side. Pull it off with the towel. Okay. Now we're gonna flatten them out. I'm gonna try to use these little stabilizer things they have, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm not using these clamps, so this is new. Okay, so let's get these going. Put these on the end. I know it's probably hard to see. Now we just tighten these. Make sure those are good. Okay, let's just get the excess off. If we can. Okay, so that is glued up. It's a pretty good line. You can't really tell. And I don't know if you can see that middle support is like right on the glue line. Oh wait, I guess it's not. I'll worry about this cleanup later. So I'm probably gonna let this sit for the rest of today. Just in case. I think you only really need it to set for like 2 hours before it'll be fine without the clamps, and then like a full day before you can put any stress on the joint. But just gonna leave it in this for a day, and then we'll come back later and cut it on the bandsaw. And this is gonna be the shape I'm going for. It's kind of like a Jazzmaster-ish, but I changed this top one a little bit. Kind of thinking about changing the bottom shape. Trim it up a little bit. Let's see if I can get this set up. Yeah, let me know. I ignore this drawn in line there. That was some early sketches, but I am thinking about making this a little deeper, not quite this dramatic, and this corner needs to be a little bigger, kind of similar to this, but just sucked in, and then kind of meet back somewhere over here to the original shape. But yeah, we'll come back when this is dry. Okay, So that worked really well. You can just barely see the seam. I haven't sanded it or anything. Yeah, there's some glue right there, but if I sand this down or plane or whatever, it'll be really nice, solid blank. There's a couple of updates. So I've decided to not use this neck and work on this other one I have started up here. I cut a new fretboard yesterday. Just didn't film it because I've already filmed that. But I just really am not happy with that and how it's gonna look. So I got this new neck that I was kind of making off camera just to keep getting better at it. So I got this new fretboard cut from the same piece of wood as that. Gross. So yeah, the only thing is the fretboard is a little short for what I want. I'm gonna roll with it and go for kind of a similar reveal where it's kind of poking out of the swoop into the headstock, if that makes sense. And hopefully I can plan it better. So that's one thing that's changed. We put this back up here nice and safe. The other thing is I changed the body shape. So originally it's gonna be this Jazzmaster-ish shape with this horn. No, this horn changed up a little bit. But I have to look into my template and I've changed it. So this is the new template. So originally it was like this. If you cover up that horn, looks like a Jazzmaster. So I made this a little deeper, but this part, I was looking at it and flipped it over, and I just like this kind of almost a Firebird angle and curve to it. I like the look of this. And then I really like this horn where it's kind of like a Firebird also, but it goes up a little bit. But this needed to be a little deeper so you can get your hand better up there. And so it kind of has a deeper asymmetrical swoop, and then it just barely straightens out right at the tip for some character, I guess. So this is the shape, and also this is like 25.5 scale length, just 2 pickups, P90s or whatever. And this is what I'm thinking about for the layout. Not set on these knobs, probably, well, these probably, the switch for the pickup. I'm not sure. I was kind of messing with this, holding it up and pretending to play it, thinking about what would feel good. That's what I landed on. So this will be the guitar. I think it looks really cool. I like it a lot. Alright, so I got my sander plugged in. Some old sandpaper, but it might work. I just need to kind of want to get rid of these pencil lines and smoothen out this seam a little bit. So let's do that. Alright, that feels a lot better. Can't even feel it. It's a little... Actually, no, that was just some dust. Yeah, I can't even tell. Of course, I'll sand it again, you know, later on. It's just a rough to get thing, but let's get the template drawn on there now. Okay, I got it laid out. This figuring on this wood isn't anything special, so I'm not too particular about which side the blank is on, or which side it's facing up. So I got it to where, after all my jointing fiasco, there's just barely enough room to get a guitar out of this. So I'm gonna trace this, and then I'll move over to the bandsaw to cut it out, and we'll have a cool shape. Help if I get a pencil that has lead.
My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna.
Okay, so since the center line doesn't exactly line up with the seam, just because of spacing issues and I don't think these boards are straight. Not that that really matters, but the jointed edges are kind of slightly this way. That's like super exaggerated, but yeah, whatever. So, got the center line drawn. Just important, and yeah, cut it out on the bandsaw. Okay, so unfortunately, I could not get a good camera angle because I'm just doing this by myself. Well, I was cutting it out with the bandsaw because I clipped it here when I was resawing the fretboards, but this was just too big. My bandsaw is too small, and I couldn't really get an angle where you could see anything, so I just cut it out. Next time I'll try to get some shots. It's just all I have is that little pinky stand for right now, I guess. But yeah, got it cut out. You can see my line there. Pretty close. I did mess up here. It just barely went into the line because my bandsaw wasn't set up right. That's my fault. But I think I can just sand this to be smooth. I mean, once I get it cut out with the template, and yeah, I had kind of a hard time cutting these swoops just because my bandsaw is so small, and this thing is like bigger than the table, but that should be fine. Should be, shallow passes should be fine. So gonna put the template on there and start routing it out. Okay, so I got some tape here, tape on the template. I'm gonna put some glue, dot some glue on here, and then slap this on. That way we can use this as a template to cut out slowly the shape of the guitar. So let's do that. Alright, so I got some CA glue here. Just gonna do a little line, and you do it on the blank. That way, if there's any glue in the wrong spot, it won't mess up the blank, it'll just mess up the template. So I'm gonna lay this down and match up the center lines. It is pretty good. And then just push it down a little bit. Some push right, it doesn't take much probably. Yeah. So if you look here, the center lines matched up. And then on this side it's harder to tell, but focus. There we go. Center lines are matched up. And just as long. You don't have to match up these, I guess. Since we're gonna wrap this out, we can just transfer this line to the new face here. But just as long as there's some overlap over the entire piece here, which there is, because we lined up the center lines, we'll be good. So yeah, we'll let this sit for a little bit. I'll get the router set up, and then we'll start this process. Okay, so I got my router flipped up here. I'm gonna change the bit out. I have this template bit in there, but to start this, want to go with this template bit. It's got a spiral on it, so it can pretty much grain direction doesn't really matter, just the spinning direction. So I'm going to start with this, just taking some light cuts. It's a little bit longer than I would like it to be, but I like this a good size bit. So we're going to start with this. We're going to put this in the router and then take a first pass. Okay, got the body clamped down for extra stability. Get the bit in the router. Let's take the first pass. Alright, so we got a nice beginning. There's a couple dip-ins here. And actually there's a tiny bit there, but I'll get that real quick off camera. But we got this lip, so now we don't really need the template. So we're going to remove it with a scraper and then just use this shape to get basically the other half. So let's do that now. Alright, so that's pretty simple. You just get it underneath a spot, preferably one that doesn't feel like it's going to snap off. And because we put the glue on there, on the tape, I mean, it just comes off nice and easy. And all you have to do, peel the tape off, and do that. Beautiful. Alright, now I can finish the rest of it. Okay, so I got the bearing changed to a trim bit or something, and I'm going to go around and it's going to ride along this already cut piece and cut off this last little lip. So let's do that right now. Okay, and we're done. Got it all cut out. There's some spots obviously I need to sand down. But yeah, overall it's pretty good. You can definitely tell where I was using different bits just because the cut is different. But yeah, that's it, and I think that's where we'll stop for now, because I don't know what kind of pickups I'm going to put in it or bridge or anything. So this is where we'll end here. Finally remembered to actually film an outro. So next time, probably work on the neck more. I'll see you next time.